Okay, welcome. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you for all of your love, your support. Thank you for joining me today. Um, if you watch me on a regular basis, you know that I have a lot on my plate, and so therefore, I don't get to do the weekly readings or anything as much as I would like, and I'm kind of going through a transitional phase, and I'm thinking, wow, it's eclipse season. Like, and it's so magical this year because we have three eclipses. Usually you have two eclipses for the season. You have the solar eclipse, then you would have the lunar eclipse. But this year we have the solar, well, we just had the solar eclipse. Then we'll have the lunar eclipse on July the 27th, I believe. And then come August the 11th, we will have another solar eclipse. And I thought, we're in such powerful energy this year. Being a collective 11 year, 2018, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 is 11. So 11 is the justice card. 11 is bringing in the balance. The 11 is making the hard decisions, making the hard commitments, making the hard choices, giving 110%, walking and talking with integrity, acting with integrity, being committed to yourself, your dreams, your goals, and your desires. And when we can do these things, when we can focus on that energy and move ourselves in that direction, magical, beautiful successes that you can't even imagine can come out of this kind of energy. So this year has been a very magical year. We have other transits still coming in the mix for the year of magic entering our lives, these moments of magic. So, and a couple of things I've noticed about the energy. One is that the numerology for the day for July the 12th was a 3. And then I think for the lunar eclipse, it's a 9. So that, and nines are all about endings and completions. But then the new solar eclipse in August, forget the fact that it's on the 11th and we're in the 11 years, so it's a double 11 energy for us. But it also boils down to a 3 again. And the 3 is the Empress. So it is all about our new beginnings, our new starts, the birthing of an idea, a plan, a goal, a dream, a desire. Now, also the solar eclipse in August, the numerology is actually a 30, and you rarely get a 30 number or 30 energy for a daily. So the 30 energy alone, even the worst kind of things are beautiful, are magical, are wonderful. There's success sprinkled everywhere in your lives. It's a time to celebrate. It's a time to rejoice. It's a time to say, I've got this. It's a time to plant those new seeds and to grow forward. Tapping yourself into your creativity with the 30 energy, tapping yourself into the creativity, your self-expression will just take you to the next level. So it's really about being true with yourself, to yourself. So I thought I would do each of the signs, and I just kind of wanted to kind of give that front for everybody, so that when I do the eclipse season videos for you individually, now the sun, the moon, and the ascendant, you should be checking all three. Okay. The sun is your outward, your deepest goals in life, what's important to you, how people view you, how you want people to view you, your goals, your dreams, your desires, your outward world. The moon is your emotion. How do you express yourself? How do you respond to things emotionally? And where can you grow emotionally? Where can you strengthen yourself emotionally? And then the ascendant is relationships, partnerships. So you want to know all of that when you are looking at these eclipses, and you need to view them individually, yes, but you also need to view them as a collective energy because they're building up upon each other. So a solar eclipse is a time of new beginnings, new chapters, new starts, new visions of your tomorrows, planting the seeds. So that's a new moon. A full moon, and the energy will last up to 4 weeks. A full moon is a time for completion, endings, healing, seeing where we are, seeing where we want the new beginnings and what has held us back. And that energy will last up to 4 weeks. So, but a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse will last up to 6 months. Now, I think the Leo energy kind of supersedes the Cancer energy to some degree, because it is the final eclipse going forward before we hit the fall. So we have to look at all 3 areas and how we can walk towards our new beginnings, our new starts, our goals, our dreams, our desires, growing relationships deeper, traveling, education, groups and friends, our service to others, our destiny perhaps. What type of healing or closure do we need in our life? What kind of completion do we need? Learning more about ourselves. And I think the Cancer eclipse was a lot about learning a little bit about ourselves, knowing that we don't need to control everything. It was the sun and the moon opposing Pluto during this. So Pluto is the one that, Pluto, you have to ask yourself, how can I grow? How can I grow through deepening my own self-knowledge? Seeing where I react, seeing where I try and control, seeing where I might have a goal in mind, but it's not for the highest good. It has an underlying of manipulation or wanting to keep things the same, or stubborn, or jealousy might be driving my goal. Wanting to show off, wanting to let my ego shine instead of my heart shine. So where does that happen in my life? And I think throughout the course of the next 4 weeks, we'll be given glimpses of, now, why are you in the situation? And what is it trying to teach you about yourself? We come to the lunar eclipse. And that is more about groups and friends and social causes, humanitarian ideas, global awareness, and yes, ideas in general, inventive imagination, creativity. I think Mars is very close, if not exact, with this full moon. And so it's in retrograde. I would have to think that we are looking at how to go forward, of breaking through the wall, of knocking the wall down, so kind of watch your anger, back it up, think it out, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. Don't let that knee-jerk reaction come through. Mars is always wanting to go forward. Mars is our warrior. And Pluto, Pluto was the Cancer. That's our inner warrior being awoken with Pluto retrograde. Mars retrograde, we are walking back over some of our steps, some of our actions, or lack of action. And so we need to analyze what didn't allow a closure in my life, what didn't allow an ending in my life. Where am I fighting that healing that could come into my life and open up new doors and new ways of looking at things, new perceptions. And then we have the Leo. solar eclipse. Then we have that 11-11 energy. We've got that 30 energy. We've got the 3 energy of the Empress. Leo is our play. Leo is our romance. Leo is, getting up on that soapbox and saying, this is who I am and I love me for it. This is tapping into your creativity, sharing yourself through self-expression, creativity, recreation. But it's very much a me kind of energy. So throughout this solar eclipse to lunar eclipse and then back to the solar eclipse, and I failed to mention that Cancer, it was in our 4th house, right? That's family and home and heritage and foundations. So we'll probably be looking over the next couple of weeks, especially a little bit more towards our immediate home life, our family, our close friends, our allies, our close allies that we trust, that we lean on for support, that give us support, that give us encouragement. Our tribes, our clans, our foundations. And then it moves into more of a collective energy of groups of people, our humanitarianism, our social causes, our global awareness, and yes, our creativity and how we can use our creativity, our inventiveness in order to not only touch our life, our close family lives, but the collective. And then we move into Leo, which is that me center, that I am. That's the sun. It's ruled by the sun. Once again, what's our deepest goals? What's our deepest dreams? And how do we go forward? And we spent time contemplating home, family, foundations, groups, friends, global. And then we finally get to planting our seeds, which is our goals, our dreams, what we want in our life. So I'm going to do a reading for each of you, and stay tuned because it should, if I figure out how to edit properly, it should be coming on now. But in case I mess up, remember, I do love you. Welcome, Libra. This is the eclipse season for you. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And thank you, Tilly, for all the positive, loving, supportive energy that you send my way each and every day. So this reading, really, we're already in the energy, right? July 12th was our first solar eclipse. We will experience the lunar eclipse on July the 27th at 4 degrees of Aquarius. And then we end up on August the 11th with another solar eclipse at 18 degrees of Leo. So for you, the first solar eclipse was really in your 10th house of work and career, what defines you as a person. And then the Aquarian energy will be your romance, your love, your passion, your creativity, your self-expression, your play, your recreation. And then it ends up, the final solar eclipse will be in your 11th house, and that is all about groups and friends. That's all about your humanitarian ideas. That's all about your global awareness. That's all about not only raising your greater good in your life, but the people that surround you, the groups of people, your tribes, your clans, your families, but at an extended level. So, let's see what the cards have to say about how to move through this eclipse season in a positive light so that we can take a sure step forward on our paths. The King of Pentacles. Well, the King of Pentacles is the tried and true. He's not the risk taker. He grows his abundance. He grows his abundance knowing what are sure bets. Um, your talents, your abilities, what you control, what you create, um, and creating your abundance. This is a very strong card for creating material wealth in your life, or great love in your life. It tends to lean more towards your material wealth, though. And so since we just had this solar eclipse in your 10th house of work, career, goals, success, attainment, fulfillment, achievement, recognition, um, what a strong and beautiful card to really step up to the plate and say, I bring this to the table, and I am going to be successful, and I'm going to jump into my passions and my dreams and my desires, and I'm going to bet on me because I know I've got this. And you're the king. So yes, your decisions affect everybody. We're all connected. Your decision affects me. My decision affects you. You may never know that it was my input on a negative or positive emotion. But they've done studies where they've had hundreds of people come together and all focus on less crime in a certain city, and the crime rate drops like 30 to 50%. So yes, we are strong united in the subconscious and the unconscious from our heart centers. So this is not a time to get on an ego trip, or I'm better than anybody else, or I can master this and they can't. It's about collectively coming together and saying, I do this and you do that, and together we are great and we co-create. And seeing the abundance that you already have to work with, seeing the people in your life that already give you support, that lift you up, that raise you up. And for a couple of you, because I'm getting this, but I'm not getting it for everybody, but maybe it's everybody in how you apply it to yourself, but it's taking the tried and true and giving it a little bit of your own magic creativity and turning it into something new. So, and right away I thought of this piece of toast. So years ago, right, in order to get your toast toasted, you'd put it on a stick and you'd hold it over the fire, and then after a while you'd turn it. And then I don't know if anybody has seen these toasters, the old-fashioned toaster, where it was shaped like this, and it had two little handles, and you move the handles out and you put your bread there and you put them together, and that put it against the filaments there so that it would toast. And then you opened it up and the one side would be all spongy and everything, and the other one would be nice and toasted, and you turn it over and you do it again. And I remember as a little girl, she wasn't our grandmother, but we considered her our grandmother. And she had one of these toasters, and she used to put butter on them and put them in. It was like the best toast in the entire world. And then we have the toaster that we can push down, or we have the convection ovens where we can lay it down. So even though we're still just making a piece of toast, we've kind of perfected the different ways of making toast. And for years, even when my kids were growing up, I had one of those old-fashioned toasters, and I used to butter their toast every so often like that. I loved it. I wish I could find one of those toasters again, because I tell you, you haven't had toast till you've had it like that. Karma card right in the middle. And we had so much about the 20 energy in the new moon solar eclipse that just happened on the 12th. So this is a time to make strong decisions for yourself. This is a time to really make decisions for your happiness, for your fulfillment, and achieving balance in your life. The 20 card is the judgment card in most tarot decks. Here it is called the karma card. The 20 energy is magical because you can change. New worlds can be stepped into. Rewards, success can come out of it. And look at that moon up there. Look at that eclipse happening. Look at us celebrating. Very much the karma card can be about judgment, the day of reckoning, making those strong decisions, getting off the fence. And so it's saying, believe in yourself, believe in your intuition, believe in your sage wisdom, and move forward. This is turning points in your life. Great changes that can happen. Go with the flow. See where the ending's happening. See where the new beginnings can start. It could be taking a stand. It could be making an honest appraisal of where you are right now and where you want to go and what stands in your way. And where you thought you couldn't move forward before, seeing now where you can. The Wheel of the Year. Wow. Everybody's getting such strong cards for this, and no doubt, huh? Wheel of the Year is we're stepping into a new cycle. Things are getting better for us. This card is a very positive card. It says even when it doesn't look so magical, it really is magical. And maybe in hindsight, you'll realize that down the road. Sometimes we don't know of why we are walking a certain path, learning a certain thing, dealing with a certain situation. And it's only afterwards when we look back, we go, wow, I really wouldn't be here today if that had not happened. And it might be something so insignificant at the time, but you do remember it, and you remember it for a reason because it was strong. You just didn't realize how strong, how much of an impact it was going to make into your life. The 30 energy. So both solar eclipses are the 3 energy, but the 3 energy for the Cancer solar eclipse was more about knowing what we can control and what we can't control, going with the flow, learning something about ourselves. Really the World card, going into a new season, which is a lesser, or which is a greater energy of this card that I'm holding. Because here we are still evolving. The World card, we have come to a point where we need to step into the new beginning. And then we have the 3 energy again. So both are the Empress. Both are the Empress. So it's about fertility, new paths, creativity. But the 30 energy says even the bad things are good. That it's about success and celebration and who you are and where you've come and how you got here. And celebrate those things about yourself, even if it was hard, even if it felt like you failed in many ways, because you're here. And to plant the new seeds. 30 for a daily energy comes up very rarely. So we are gifted, and what more special time than to be gifted during the solar eclipse that's going to last the next 6 months in our life. So it's then that we start planting those great seeds of growth. And we can plant them ahead of time because we've already come through a solar eclipse. So if we want to get a head start on planting our gardens, planting our dreams, planting our goals, as long as you think that it's okay and you don't need to think it anymore, that you don't need to still weigh out the pros and cons, so long as you know that you've got the plan. We have the King of Pentacles. It's knowing the plan, right? We got to remember our first card, knowing the plan, sticking to the plan, having another plan as backup if that doesn't work, making strong choices and decisions, trusting your intuition, tapping into your wisdom. For work and career, we have the Two of Wands. Wow, anything is possible with the Two of Wands. And the Queen of Cups. So 2 very strong cards here talking to us about, work and career, but, really what defines you. If I were to meet you, most people would tell me about work and career. What do? You tell me about work and career, but some people tell me about what they do within their communities or their homes, or they tell me about their families. They tell me about their spirituality. Now, with the Two of Wands, we're ready to go forward. It really doesn't even matter what path you take because you hold the world in your fingertips there. You hold the world in your hands. The landscape looks, well, looks like it needs a lot of your creativity. It looks like it needs a lot of your uniqueness. Where are you going to put the color? The splash of color. What does your future look like? You've got really a pretty clean slate there to imagine, to step into the impossible and make it possible. Now, how does that happen? By loving yourself, believing in yourself, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are deserving. So if there is anything to meditate about, if there is anything to reflect on, to pray on, it's knowing your value, your worth, what you bring to the table, your talents, your abilities, and how you can take that to the next step of what you bring to the table, of how strong and courageous you truly are, of how you can make a difference, of how you can change maybe your immediate world, maybe your inner thoughts for a more positive outlook on life, or maybe the world at large, maybe the collective. For love and relationships, we have the Seven of Pentacles. What are you cultivating with the Page of Cups? Oh, what beautiful energy. So love and relationships, you know, it could be a soulmate that we're talking about here. It could be, and if you're looking for new beginnings for relationships, it could definitely happen over the next month for you. Absolutely. With these two cards, what young energy. But it could be a best friend. It could be somebody you work with, or somebody in the community, or a parent, or a sibling, or a child. Those relationships you're in, the love that you share. So these are cards that are asking you, what are you cultivating in the relationship? And to not look at all the little negatives, the things that aren't going to matter in 5 years. If it doesn't matter in 5 years, it's not going to matter. So why are you dwelling on it now? Why are you bringing in negative energy now? Or why are you allowing them to bring in negative energy over things that don't matter? And turn your back kind of on those little things that kind of cloud our big picture of what we should be cultivating in our life. Support, love, passion, unity, co-creating. So what are you cultivating within each relationship? How are you growing the relationship? Yes, what you bring to the relationship is more important, but if they're bringing negative, or turn your back on it right now over this next month. Look at the beauty that you can step into, and maybe the new relationships that are laying on the horizon for you, groups of people, teams. Where you can spread your love and follow your intuition. And it's, you know, the veil is very thin. So if you're not trusting somebody, you're probably very right in your thoughts. And there is a reason to be a little leery of that person, or to maybe widen the distance between you and another person. And if you're feeling like you are being drawn to somebody, then find out why. Maybe they're part of your next chapter. A new best friend, a new partner, a new alliance, a soulmate. This could be children coming in. So if you aren't planning to extend your family, be very, very cautious. But even if you avoid it, if children are supposed to come in, then if it's not yours, it'll be somebody else's that you need to love, that you need to nurture, that you need to help grow into a successful adult. Our spirituality is the Chariot. You know, usually with the Chariot, the first thought I get is, you know, pulling back on those reins and getting those horses into order. And that could be some of it. But you know what? I get it like you have been through it, and now you are running on the clouds. You are riding on the clouds. You are, you're so close to the heavens. There's a magic that is about you with these cards. There is truly a magic that surrounds you. So feel it. Tap into that vibration of the magic that surrounds you. Close your eyes and imagine, a ball of white light or silver light, sparkles and orbs soaring through, floating through. A translucent energy force that surrounds you, that moves you. I get this as, you know what, you've kind of broken through some really hard times or really bad times or uncomfortable times or unbalanced times or total chaos and fires, and you know how to get those horses to listen to you. You know how to bring those forces together. And so you might be into you might find yourself leading some kind of group or organization or group, a small group of people, a handful of people, a number of people, into bringing something all together to make it magical and beautiful. And it's your input, it's your drive, it's your knowledge that cements everything together. This could be in a family setting. This could be in a career setting. I get you as strong and powerful. I see that red cape of courage that you're wearing. I see, those horses still kind of wanting to go in their own direction, but you know how to lead them. And they might balk a little bit at what you're trying to do, but keep going forward. It's like you're riding out of turmoil into the adventure, into your path, where you want to go, what you want to create, who you want to become. So through your meditations, through your prayers, through times of reflection, pay attention to your dreams too. Journal. You've got this. For health and well-being, the Star card. You understand how to bring in the balance in your world. This could be getting rid of bad habits. This could be getting rid of bad behaviors. This is learning a little bit more about yourself and how to keep that inner balance. What you need to turn your back on. How you need to bring things together. What you need to put your focus on. This is a highly spiritual card, so I would have to say something like yoga or Reiki or some kind of healing energy. Heal yourself, heal others through your touch. Our touch is highly, highly healing. And we don't give ourselves enough credit for our own inner power. But why does Mom touch your forehead? Why do we hug each other when we're feeling sad? Because the touch is healing. Allow people to give you a hug. Hug somebody else. Grab their hands and dance in the street. Raise your energy, raise your light, raise your beauty. Allow your creativity to flow. Honor your passions, honor your desires. Understand that you can make the impossible possible. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.